So, why was the World War II generation considered the greatest generation? Well, let's see what made them great. Society as a whole sacrificed itself. Its wants, its needs, its desires, its hopes, its individuality for the sake of its political masters. Everyone pulled their own weight. They recycled fat, they recycled metal. I mean, the drives were going, they shamed people who wouldn't. I mean, society thought as one under the propaganda machine of the Roosevelt administration. So that's what made them great. Not for what they achieved, because all the achievements, well, those laurels rest on FDR and MacArthur and all the different generals and high commanders of the military. They're the ones that got the laurels, not the douchebags at home, all the women that went and took jobs in the factories to make sure that money was constantly on the move. So yeah, the definition of a great society and a great generation in America is its desire to give itself up as individual free-thinking people. So yeah, say whatever you want. If it weren't for American intervention, Germany would rule the world. Sure, they had a population of 24 million, half of which was destroyed in World War II. They couldn't even cross the English Channel. They could barely hold on to France with the partisans going crazy. And Russia, no way were they going to conquer Russia. But you're right. Germany was going to get on their U-boats and occupy 16 million at the time. 16 to 17 million armed American citizens. So either, see, this is where the doublethink comes in. Either you think that it was the greatest generation because they went over someplace else and killed folk, other than having you're saying that the people in the greatest generation wouldn't have been able to defend themselves against an invasion. And what you're saying today is that the people of this generation certainly has no ability to protect itself from any kind of invasion. Because that's why we send people over to die. Because the people here in America could not handle an occupation. Which is probably true. Have you seen Americans? Another quality that the greatest generation had is when the government said that there was a group of people who were considered subhuman and second class. This greatest generation took their word for it and treated black people like second class citizens. Also, very comical, when the very same government that the greatest generation worshipped turned around and flipped the script and said, well, blacks need to have a leg up, so we're going to put in quotas, enforce segregation, and all this happy horse shit. Did the greatest generation blame the government for flipping the script? No. They blamed the blacks. They hated blacks all of a sudden even more because now they're being favored, quote unquote, by the government. And believe me, it's certainly no favor to be given a hand up via quotas. We all know the reasons why it produces, secondary, or not secondary, but crappy workmanship and shitty work ethic. Because why? You just got hired because of who you are. Women are hired because they're women. Blacks are hired because they're black. Asians because they're Asians. I mean, it's just, nobody gets hired because they're white. Back in the day when most of the country was when it was like 80% white, 12% black, and the rest percent other, is just a numbers game. You had Yeah, so all the, I mean, people like my grandmother and her generation would say stuff like, oh, if it weren't for those damn quotas, if it weren't for those quotas, we could have, you know, more jobs for us, and it's discrimination and blah, blah, blah. Well, your government was infallible when they were putting Japanese in internment camps and, you know, bombing Black Wall Street. You were okay with that. You're okay with the white women going around and doing false rape accusations that caused at least 2 race riots. And it wasn't even race riots. It was white people lynching and destroying black folks' lives. Jim, you sound like you're very Afrocentric. And that, no, I just know history and I see the lingering damage that can be done to a race of people, to a culture when their cultures have been destroyed and ripped from them. I'm just saying, quit sucking the dick of the government, you idiots. The Greatest Generation was great because they were made slaves of the state. Yet they're the most racist group of people that ever walked the planet. Yeah, it makes